Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson and you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And finally, today we're talking about a skill that most people believe is magical, and it's just not. Improvisation. You can learn to just sit down and play a song without having something in mind ahead of time. It's not a magical skill any more than when my daughter asks me, "Daddy, tell me a story." Like, I don't have one in mind ahead of time. It's probably going to be a villain in there. There's probably going to be a hero in there. The hero's probably going to look and sound a lot like me, but I'm just making stuff up, and improvisation is just the musical equivalent of telling stories. In the end, you might find out that you're no Mark Twain, but you can have a lot of fun, and honestly, you can become super decent at it, even if you're not the best. The truth is, even Mark Twain wouldn't have known that he was going to become Mark Twain without a whole lot of practice. So don't be discouraged. You can do this. And you'll need to do this. Every musical scenario, from playing Happy Birthday for your nephew to performing Beethoven at Carnegie Hall, is going to be benefited by good improvisational skills. So, let's make up some stuff together. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com.
I made a joke
Where
that Jamie
we're
didn't
okay,
think was funny.
I don't know.
So now it's just...
All right. Yeah, a little, yep. All right. Anyway, I'm Jamin. I think I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
That was not my
in
intention.
life, and
No.
specifically in this moment. But I'm pretty sure I'm
just
Jamin.
teasing. I promise. You know how my jokes aren't funny sometimes.
And this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? I started Spanish 4 in school, along with my other classes.
Yeah.
And I discovered that you actually need to know the stuff from Spanish 3 for Spanish 4. And, I know that's just common logic, but I've forgotten, everything because it's been, several months in quarantine.
Yeah. Right.
And so now my teacher just speaks in mostly Spanish, and I'm like...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because before it was, mostly English, and now it's, 50-50.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it'll come back. Good luck.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Well, that is not entirely unlike our lesson today, because this is It's a little bit crazy. So we've done some jazz idioms recently, the roll and the flip and stuff like that, and the drop. And those are all based on the chords. And this one's going to be kind of based on the chord too. But this is where things kind of get, well, you'll see. There's a baseline knowledge here that you're going to need about like chords, because we're jumping into like the assumption is here that you are you're improvising, meaning you're just making up melodies, like you're listening, and as the chords go by, you're like trying to play stuff that sounds cool. If not, this stuff will not be interesting to you at all. So if you're already there, like, yeah, I kind of like to make up stuff every now and then, or when I'm playing a song, I'd kind of like to like throw in a little lick or something, make it like all jazzed up. So if you feel that way, then you're in luck. If you don't feel that way and you're like, I just want to play songs the right way, then this is not the lesson for you. Here's the idea. As you're improvising, as you're going through songs, occasionally you'll play minor chords. And minor chords have their own sound, their own flavor, their own color. And there are cool things, cool tricks that you can do on minor chords that you can't do on other chords. And so we're going to take a jazz idiom today. It's basically a lick, but it's a lick that's like so popular or so important or so commonly used or has such a rich background that it's just like it's more important than just like a lick. It's not something that's just cool to play. This is like, I don't know, one in the hand is worth two in the bush or something. Like it's just a saying, but also it's kind of important. It's got a richer history. So this jazz idiom here is going to be based on the minor chord. So we're going to use as an example right now the C minor chord. Now, technically, if you're into this, it's a C minor 6/9. And some people were like, finally, he's getting technical with this stuff. And some of you are like, what is he doing? So either way, it's a C minor chord or it's a C minor 6/9 chord. And this PDF is longer than most of our PDFs because this one has, 10 pages to it because it's got all the exercises written out. All you really need to know is on a minor chord, if we go like C minor, like that chord right there would be like a C minor that we've talked about recently. Or if we call this a C minor 6 chord, we would use the 6 instead of the 7. Some people are already lost. If you just know C minor, that's good enough. I just want to point out this is kind of based on a C minor 6/9 chord where you're playing the 1, the 3, the 5, the 6, and the 9. And that is basically the lick right there if you just play that, but you jump into it from a half step below. So this is the C minor 6 chord right there, and we're just going to play the half step below the 3, so this one and then that one, and play all those notes in order. And at the end of it, what we'd recommend is I'm going from the 2 to the flat 3 to the 5 to the 6 to the 9, just like we just did. And like it says right here, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. And then at the end of that, drop down to the 1. That would also sound cool. So that thing right there is the lick that we're talking about. So as you're playing through your song, whatever song it is, something we've worked on recently or something you're working on separately or something we were working on with me, and you run into a minor chord, if you play the minor 6/9 chord, you anticipate it by a half step below, and then you drop down to the root. That's the one. Now, we just got done playing My Favorite Things in the kids lesson, and that starts out with an A minor chord. So we could play like that chord right there. So if we were playing, I'm just using this as an example. This is not the right song to use this on. This is just a tool to use anytime you're improvising. That's all built on that A minor. And kind of if we could zoom out at this point. And you wanted to like put something really cool and jazzy in there, you could play 2, flat 3, 5, 6, 9, 1. So we'd play this chord right here. So then if we play the track sounds like this. Here we go. Oh, can we go? I'm sorry, not the adults track. Can you play the kids track for me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 3, 1. So here is. Okay, or if we go again, it'd be something like this. So you saw me like throw it in there at the end. So that's like one way that you could throw that in a song, like a random song that we just did. So that's not me picking ahead of time, like, here'd be a good song. It just happens to be the one we just recently did, or any of your other ones. And that requires you knowing that chord. Now, your actual play along is going to be going through the circle of fifths, and also this thing right here. Where is it? The real... hang on. This thing right here, the real world examples. So what we're going to do is play this thing on a bunch of minor chords. So we're going to start off on a C minor 6/9 chord. Now, there's other ways that you can use this, but before we get to the other ways we can use this, I think it's time to take a break.
Hey Jamin, it's time for our feature of the day, which
indeed.
Today is the app of the day.
And I've been waiting a long time to share this one with you because it got introduced to me, and I think I'm going to try to do something new on this platform. It's called Smule. Have you ever heard of this, Kendra?
I've seen ads for it, but I've never used it.
Okay, you gotta try it. So do you know what it is based on the ad?
Something to do with music.
It's karaoke.
Okay.
It's all live karaoke.
I know what that is.
On your phone.
Yes, and it's where you can sing like with the original artist, right?
Or you can just sing with like anyone who like jumps into that chat room with you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now here's the thing. I've been on it and I've been trying to look for like, are there people who would just like jam and like play? Like, how about you sing that song at like what we do every week, but like over the internet? And as far as I can tell, nobody does that. So I think I'm going to try to jump on this week and see if I can be the first person to be like, instead of you like jamming with the play along track and we both sing, how about I play and then you sing? And
that's
so I'll let
awesome.
you know how that goes, but I think that would be really, really cool. I don't know how they get around the latency stuff, so we'll see how that works out. But if that works out, this could be like a game changer for me. So anyway, I'm excited about Smule. If you like to sing and do karaoke, then cool, do that. But if you want to try to jam, let's revolutionize the world and take over together. We're going to try. I don't know if it'll work on Smule, but you should go check it out. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get back to our jazz idiom after this short break. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.